There's a question I want you to consider today. And before you answer it, I want you to be completely honest with yourself. Do you miss your ex? Or do you miss what your relationship represented? At first, those two things can feel exactly the same, but they're often very different. When a relationship ends, it doesn't just take a person out of your life. It takes away routines, plans, inside jokes, comfort, certainty, the feeling that someone was there. And when all of that disappears at once, it's easy to assume that what you're missing is the person. Sometimes it is, but not always. Think about the moments when you miss them most. Is it usually when you're remembering who they actually were, or is it when you're feeling lonely, bored, stressed, anxious about the future? For a lot of people, the strongest waves of missing an ex don't happen because they're thinking about the relationship itself. They happen because they're missing how the relationship made them feel. There's an important difference, because one is about a person. The other is about a need. And needs can be met in many different ways. Let's look at a simple example. Maybe you miss having someone to text at the end of the day. That's real. But is the pain coming from missing that specific person, or from missing connection? Maybe you miss weekend plans, someone to travel with, someone to tell good news to, someone who knew your routines. Again, that's real. But those experiences aren't owned by one person. They're human needs, and understanding that can change everything. Let me ask you something. What's the one thing you miss most since the breakup? Not the person. The thing, the feeling, the experience. Leave it in the comments, because many people discover they're missing the same things. Connection, comfort, companionship, being understood, having someone in their corner. Now here's where it gets even more interesting. After a breakup, most people don't remember the relationship accurately. They remember it selectively. The brain has a tendency to highlight emotionally meaningful memories, especially when we're hurting. That's why you can spend hours thinking about a perfect vacation together while completely forgetting the arguments that happened every week. You remember the good morning texts. You forget the nights you went to bed upset. You remember how they made you feel special. You forget the reasons the relationship ended. This doesn't mean the good memories weren't real. They were, but they weren't the entire relationship. No relationship is. One of the hardest parts of healing is learning to hold both truths at the same time. Yes, there were beautiful moments. And yes, there were problems. Yes, you loved them. And yes, the relationship ended for a reason. Both things can be true. As painful as it is, this is where healing becomes more honest. Because instead of chasing an idealized version of the relationship, you start seeing it as it actually was. Not perfect, not terrible, and just human. And when that happens, something shifts. You stop asking, how do I get back what I lost? And you start asking, what am I actually looking for now? That's a much more powerful question, because your future isn't found in the relationship that ended. It's found in the person you're becoming because of it. The truth is, most people eventually realize they weren't only grieving a person. They were grieving a future they imagined, the plans they made, the life they expected, the story they thought they were living. And that's okay. That loss is real too. But once you recognize it, you stop trying to solve the wrong problem. You stop believing that getting your ex back is the only way to feel whole again. You begin understanding that what you're truly looking for, love, connection, support, belonging, still exists. It just doesn't have to come from the same person. And that realization is often the moment healing starts accelerating. Not because you stop caring about them, but because you stop believing they are the only source of what you need. If you're going through heartbreak right now, remember this. Missing someone doesn't automatically mean they're meant to be in your life. Sometimes it simply means they mattered, and people can matter deeply while still belonging in your past. If this video helped you, subscribe for more psychology-based insights on healing, confidence, and moving forward after heartbreak.